What it do, snackers, snackettes, and snack X's? It's your boy Gage. I'm here with Jokes. I'm here with Sin. You are now tuned in to Loading Snacks Weekly, where we get together once a week and we talk about things that are happening in pop culture. And today we're not doing none of that. It's like, Jokes.
Yo.
Do your job, please.
I got you.
I want to thank everybody who's hanging out with us this evening, for tuning in. We appreciate you.
It doesn't work for me today.
Jokes is having trouble. Which can't get the Beacon's link. Jokes, you know.
No, the chat's like no bueno.
Have you been banned from the chat? Did Marcus get you?
Marcus may have gotten me. I don't like this.
Just work it out.
While we get you sorted, sir. Sin, you have a job to do. Why don't we start there?
Sure. So let's shout out our top tier patrons, starting with Anthony Cunningham, Marcus Houston, Susan Deutsch, Tyrone Carson, Meticulous Skin, and Jonathan Sosa. Thank you very much. We truly, truly appreciate it.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much. I grabbed this link. You still can't type in the chat, Jokes?
Not at all.
You are kicked out.
Can you really see the chat?
I can't do my job.
You can't do your job.
All
right, there it is. You're about to lose your job because you cannot do your job. There's a Beacons link. Look, for those of you who've been following, you already know what to do. But if you haven't done it already, or if you're new, click the Beacons link. And what up, Cuddy?
What up, Cut?
From there, you can find everything else we do everywhere else we do it. And we appreciate the follows, the likes, the shares. All that matters to us and helps us grow. Please make sure you check out our Patreon. We did make some changes to it last month. We've added a bunch of new tiers. So please go and check it out if you haven't checked it out in a while, because there are some changes and there might be some other things that you're interested in doing when you're there. It's Jokes quiet quitting or whatever people call it now. We don't know.
I can't even see that.
Oh, you can't see it?
I can't even see that.
I can't either, so.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Guess I'm running the show tonight, yo.
Yeah.
Oh, you got the whole.
Like I see none of the chats or absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
I'm scared to click this to see if this does something.
Why? Are you scared you get kicked out and you won't be able to get back in?
Maybe. Let's find out.
All right.
Yeah, it didn't do nothing.
Okay. Hey, have either of you started watching the Rings of Power show?
Yeah.
Not yet.
I actually watched both of them today.
Okay. Interesting.
Caught up on that and my Game of Thrones last 2 episodes today.
What Game of Thrones?
Game of Thrones, the new season currently running. I watched all that today.
It sounded like you took complete ownership over Game of Thrones and said my Game of Thrones.
No.
Now George R. Martin. And I was about to be like, hey, Slim, if there's some money coming in, you need to be having a conversation with some folks. Listen, J. Robert Dean.
Come on, you gotta do better than that. You gotta do better than that. Come on.
Nah, that's about right.
I do appreciate the fact that Step is capitalized though. like it's just it's part of your name now, buddy. Man, oh man. So, Jokes, do you have any intention on watching The Rings of Power?
I do. I don't know. I'm not eager to jump right on into it. I kind of want to watch. I haven't watched any of the Lord of the Rings movies in I don't know how long. Granted, this is set different period, but I would like to refresh a little bit, seeing as I know there's some things that they make reference to within at least the first few episodes. So
okay. So what are we talking, like 2 years from now? 3 years from now?
Do we know how many episodes the season is actually for this?
I mean, here's why I ask. I am not very interested.
Mm-hmm.
I'm unsold, but I'm also unsold on Game of Thrones. So like,
Right.
go figure. Um, is anybody in the chat watching either show? I just want to know. I want to know where we are. I want to know how we feel. I was asked the question the other day of which show is going to be better.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it was an interesting question, especially to be posed to someone who has no interest in watching either. And as someone who did not watch Game of Thrones, many people assume because of everything else that I watch and I like and I'm into that, like, they're like, well, of course. So people will just start spitting spoilers at me about Game of Thrones, like, no, blah, 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 blah. And I just be like, I don't know what you're talking about. So it's not really a spoiler. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about because I didn't watch Game of Thrones. And then like their face does this thing where I don't know if they don't know if they're supposed to be more shocked or more disappointed.
I know that.
But it's somewhere in there. Somewhere in there is like maybe both.
Right.
J. Robert Dean said, I saw something that purported to be the Rings intro that looked like a fifth-rate cosplay video from 1980.
Damn.
I mean, I watched the trailers. I didn't think they looked that bad.
Yeah, trailers to me look pretty clean.
No, it looks really good.
I didn't think it looked that bad. I do. I mean, I recall people being like that very first trailer.
Mm-hmm.
I do recall people being like, I don't know, it isn't looking too hot. It looks like a TV show, and, which is what things used to look like. Like,
yeah.
I feel like people were looking at it and going, this looks like a CW show and not like a streaming service
type thing.
show, right? Now that streaming services have HBO money, Showtime money, cable,
big budget money.
Yeah. I get that, but I think they've done the work to fix that because the subsequent trailers I think have all looked pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I just am not. I like Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
But I'm not into Lord of the Rings.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I think it's cool. I get it, kind of. But Lord of the Rings is one of those things where it's like, there's so much. There is a lot going on, and everybody got funky names. And all of the places they go, all the names of all the places they go are funky. And I just think that makes it more confusing. And I think it makes it harder for somebody who's not already bought in or doesn't already know to get bought in. I think it's harder to break that ground with people, and to build, like, to get people to really care about characters when it's hard to say their names. It makes it harder to remember, you know what I mean, or whatever, and where they're from, and whatever. I don't think Game of Thrones has that as an issue. I could see why people might think that, but I think it's so much easier because they're, House Stark is like, people know Stark anyway. Like, like, that's not hard. You know what I mean?
King's Landing, easy to remember.
It's just they're like words and names and things that, like, for the most part, you understand. It's much easier to understand that this person is from this place. These people are fighting for this thing in this place. Like, it's just much easier, I think. J. Robert Dean says, I will say, however, that Tolkien has never grabbed me, despite a couple of tries, both with the books and the films, just not my thing. I respect that.
Not surprised.
Even if my meal planning makes it look like I regularly partake of elvenesses. And he asks, isn't that the slippery slope of franchises? The longer they go, the more complex they become, the harder it is to bring in new fans. No, I don't think that's the case. I think here's one of the things about this. I think I felt that way when I first started reading comic books. I think I felt slightly overwhelmed I was never lost within the context or the confines of the story I was reading. So let's say this particular arc, if you will. Let's make it an anime term. This particular arc. Like I come in, I'm at the beginning of this story for these characters. I'm good with it. Comic books has always done a really great job of putting that little notation in the corner somewhere or whatever that says that this thing they're talking about happened in this issue in this book. Like they'll tell you, right? And they do a pretty solid job of like helping you understand the history. I think what makes Tolkien's work complicated is the made up names. It just is it's harder to know you're on the way to Minas Tirith. It just is. You know what I'm saying? Like it just is. I think the names are complicated. I just do. And I think that's very different from trying to remember Ant-Man. Like it's very different from trying to remember Star-Lord, Captain America, Superman, Wonder Woman,
difficult,
Cyclops, Wolverine. Like they're not hard names. They're named after things you've already heard. They're named after animals you already know. Storm. You know what I mean? Like it makes it easier. And like for something like at least the MCU or for Marvel, like they're based in like real places. That makes it a little easier. This is New York. This is San Francisco. You know, whatever. Even DC, like Gotham City's not hard to remember. Metropolis isn't hard to remember, right? Maybe Bloodhaven doesn't quite roll off the same way, but Blood and Haven are both words that are just regular words that they're just put together into a thing. So it doesn't have that same complexity of like, if you're a person that jumps in trying to figure out, keep track of
struggle.
Like Tolkien used was it alphabet serial to make up the names for everything?
Bruh, just
let's just grab a handful of cereal, pull it down.
Like, these letters
there we go.
There we go.
You know what I mean? Like Jay is asking if I mean the made up language and the complexity therein. Sure, but no.
I mean, like, the language. It's just the names of cities and people's names, all that kind of stuff. It's mostly consonants with like one vowel thrown in.
It's very difficult to follow. What up, BP?
Yo.
It just makes it more difficult to follow. I think Star Wars has some of that, but it's not as bad.
That is, I get you.
Like,
I can get you on that.
For somebody who's like an average, like if you're like, if you've seen, I don't know, let's say the original 3 Star Wars movies. Let's say you've seen the original trilogy, and you decide I'm gonna watch the first prequel. If you're actually trying to remember what planet people went to or what planet something happened on or what was on the moon of whatever, forget it. Like, just forget it. It's easier to keep track of the names of people, which I think allows you to follow the story. It just is. So even if you can't keep track, like if you can't keep track of what planet they were on when this thing happened, it doesn't detract from the story. It helps if you know. It might make the story a little better. But you don't really know in relation, like where one planet is in relation to another one anyway. It doesn't really, you know. Waiting for that CM Punk talk. You gonna have to. That's jokes. That's some jokes.
I don't think somebody gonna have a job.
As far as my take on
your job,
yeah, he ain't gonna have no job.
Well, I was gonna say, as far as my take on the 2 shows, like I really enjoyed the first 2 episodes of Rings of Power. Thought it looked good and everything, action. I enjoyed all of it, And these first 3 episodes of House of the Dragon, Game of Thrones has been
Right.
great. And they have been both really pulled in at the points they've left off at to want to know where it's going. So I'm fully invested in both of them.
Rings of Power. Who was the first person to get hit?
It was one of the elves when they was in the ice ice castle in the beginning.
What's their name?
His name? Oh,
Yeah.
they didn't matter. They was fodder. They
Okay,
yeah,
so
yeah,
like,
it was
who
it
hit
was-
them? Was somebody
The
important?
person that hit
person-
him got to be important.
Oh, it was Ice Troll that hit him.
It's just
Troll.
Ice Troll.
Ice Troll
Just
didn't
an
have
Ice
a
Troll.
name.
No, it was just an Ice Troll. He saw it scream,
All right.
Ice Troll! Got mollywopped.
Who's your? I like that. Who's your favorite
Ice
character
Troll.
so far? Rings of Power.
I don't have one. There's a lot of like different players in different places, and you're seeing how the stories gonna tie together. I don't have one just yet. Even though, yes, all complicated names. Remember, I don't have one just yet. I'm leaning towards the main female character, but I'm not there yet. I'm not sold.
What's her name?
Oh, hell if I remember.
See, that's what
There
I'm
you
talking
go. See,
Hell if I
dude,
remember.
you just proved every
You
point.
just
that he-
watched two episodes.
I wasn't trying to
Hey.
disprove them. I was not trying to disprove
No,
them.
I'm not saying no. I'm not no. And that's not. I'm not
Yeah.
saying you were trying to disprove me. I'm just saying that's what my point is, right?
Yeah.
Like,
They have harder names to remember.
yeah, like you could be bought in. It could look great, you know what I mean, or whatever. But like, in terms of caring, like really caring about what happens, you build a relationship with the character, right? So like, reading comics, like it's saying you hate Wolverine.
Sure, yes.
You hate Wolverine, but you also hate Cyclops.
Yeah.
Who do you hate more?
Scott.
I was about to say that.
that's easy.
And like, and here's the thing:
Scott Summers. Let's put his yes.
His
Scott
whole government.
Summers.
Get his name out there. And now here's the thing. What's up, Alfonso? I'm glad you enjoyed them rings. If Wolverine is like the perfect character for you, based on the reasons why you hate someone like Scott, like he is everything the opposite of what Scott is.
Yes,
I
he is.
understand that you hate him because everybody else loves him. Like you just
I
feel
sure
like
do.
everybody's on him, so I don't want nothing to do with him. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I get it, but you can follow those characters in their arcs, and like you build a rapport, like a relationship with who they are. You know who they are, how they act, what they do. You know what the expectation is. Like you could look at a situation. If I was to give you a random situation, right, and say the 92 X-Men just showed up, I guarantee you could tell me exactly what each character is going to do. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. You see what I'm saying? Because you build that, like, because you care about the characters, even if you don't like them. Even characters you don't like, you've built something with that it's like, oh, I can't stand him. Why you always got to be a Boy Scout, Scott? You know what I mean? Like you just, like you feel that. And so even though you hate Wolverine, Wolverine's response to whatever it is that Scott does is going to make you smile. Like you, like you know what I'm saying? Like, so like it's that thing. BP says Galadriel.
Galadriel.
I mean, that's
No,
not.
That sounds like a Pokemon.
That sounds like her name.
It is a Pokemon name.
That is a Pokemon.
It's a Pokemon name. Hey, you know what? Hey, Jokes, how do you remember these Pokemon names?
I don't know. Like I think they're easier than Lord of the Rings characters' names.
They are.
Most of them.
They are. I wouldn't take that away from you. I think they're more fun to say. They don't sound it. I think they roll off the tongue better a lot of times. There are ones that aren't.
There's some
so bad. You know what I mean? I just think it's. I don't know, bro. When your faction is just from some place that like it's so hard to say, like it makes me want to roll my eyes, and like to say that Magneto happens to be in like the Savage Land. That's so simple. Like you know what I'm saying? Oh, he's on Asteroid M. That's so easy.
Easy.
You know what I mean? Like it's easy. It's not a big deal. So it just. Dr. Strange says the mirror dimension. Oh, okay.
Simple.
I know what that is. That's the Inception joint. Got it. You know what I mean? I just think they're harder to follow. It makes me feel like Game of Thrones has a better chance of hooking people for a couple of reasons.
Mhm.
One being it's Tolkien's work. I mean, it's Martin's work.
Mhm.
So it's like I think people trust it a little bit more. I
Regardless
think
of
people
how,
were
I think
so
regardless of
upset
how the
with how
last,
the last joint ended.
yeah, regardless of how you felt about how it all ended, it still was one of the biggest shows of all time.
Right, but the ending was also canon, and the books are filling it. Like these are shows that are filling in the gaps of things that like stuff that people wanted. So like, here's the thing: even as a person who I honestly could care less,
I got sites today with them just mentioning something.
see, that's what I'm saying.
There it is.
Yeah, a character showed up like it's so years before what happened. Game of Thrones. Right. He mentioned, "Oh, I'm son to Lannister." I was like, "Oh, you a Lannister?" Ooh,
my man set up real quick.
I don't mess with them.
That's a real moment. Like,
yeah.
Listen, I don't mess with them. You had a real like a connection, that existed. Oh, are you one of them Cyclops people? I don't like you. Though.
I don't like you.
Yeah. Speaking of which, and listen, jokes. I promise, I'm gonna let you talk about CM Punk. I am.
Oh, it's all good.
I know it is. You don't have a choice. I'm in control of it. But what I'm saying is, I'm gonna let you talk about CM Punk. I'm gonna hold on to BP for just a little bit longer because I actually have some questions. Right, jokes. What is the thing? Like as a geek, right? Like anime, Gundam, your Pokemon, Dragon Ball, right? Gamer. What's the thing you're into that most people you think would be surprised that is a thing that you're like into?
Probably, you know what? Me and Sin had this conversation. Probably like the law shows and stuff like that. The Law and Order, the Chicago PD. I don't think as much as I do talk about them on my page, I don't think I'm as vocal with those as I am about like wrestling and anime and all that. But like Chicago PD, I am all over that. Law and Order, I have gone down a rabbit hole. It's like I've watched Law and Order on and off for years, but there was a gap where like I just stopped watching. So watch the current season of SVU. No characters, no everything. Stabler came back. So I started backtracking a little bit because things are said, and I'm like, I don't understand that. So
again, like the reference I just made to like jumping in the middle of a comic book or whatever, like it's just easy to go back and just like, oh, okay.
So like currently, I think the new season that's about to come on is either season 24 or season 25. It's one of those. Okay. Something was said, and it made me have to jump back like 2 seasons. Now I'm doing this completely backwards. Start watching, something else is said. Yes, 60 plus combined with all of them. Now I'm gonna tell you right now, I ain't doing all that. I'm gonna stay in my.
I don't believe it.
I don't believe it.
I'm staying in my SVU lane for right now. At least till he's crossed the crossover.
Right now,
right.
So I'm at this point right now. I've gone back and I've started from season 18, and I'm in season 20 now, and I'm trying not to go back any further than that. I know a lot of the stuff that happened in the past, so I'm just not trying to jump back. But season 18, I just started from there. It was a good jump in point, and then just kind of went from there. But definitely, I would say like those law shows, like I'm into those. I'm into them.
I dig it. Sin, what about you? Listen, answer this question quickly before J. Robert Dean's answers for you.
You know what? Kind of the same vein of jokes. There was a time growing up where I only watched anime and movies. Like that, be like I didn't watch TV shows. Like I just didn't, unless I was sitting with my brother and he was watching Martin or Fresh Prince. I would watch with him, but I would never come home and cut those on. It's a movie or it's anime. Then my ex-wife got me into Scrubs, and I fell down a rabbit hole.
Oh, hey, Hey, Slim, I remember that, bro.
I watched seasons 1 and 2 of Scrubs because that was all out on DVD for probably like 2 years straight. I'm not lying or exaggeration. I could quote it forward, backwards, forward. And then I just fell down a rabbit hole of all these shows I mentioned. That's one of the biggest things that got me into binging because then I got all these seasons of Lost, all these seasons of 24, and all this other stuff. So I actually watch now. I don't watch movies unless we're going to talk about it on here.
Right.
And now I only watch anime and TV shows. I will watch anything if it's got a bunch of seasons. I don't care what it is. I'm like, oh, this got 4 seasons. Play, run through it. I just read
it. It must have been decent enough if it got all these seasons. So I'll give it a.
Yep, I'll give it a shot. I have such a library of stuff. I'm just finished. I'm almost finished catching up on FBI. Like, okay, cool. It's in that same universe you're talking about, jokes. I'll just give this a shot. I don't know if I'm really interested. Now I'm almost caught up.
I'm in the what's his name?
What do you mean found out he was married? Like how that works? Hey, listen. First of all, that right there, that's a real J. Robert D's quote. Because Scrubs, hey, that joint is funny, bro.
Yes.
Yeah, Doctor. Yeah, Doctor Who.
Scrubs was great. I'm sorry. So now I have so many different shows that I watch that I'm a fan of. Like I said, I do the ones like you do, jokes. I like the Police Hawaii 5-0. I'm a fan of. What's the one? Superstore. I think it's hilarious. I have a full catalog of stuff that I watch and I never post about that I'm watching or even interested in.
What British TV series, BP? Is it something specific or just like
last one I saw British one I saw was on Netflix. What was it? It was a short one, just a one-off one they did.
Oh, there's even a UK version of Law and Order. I mean, it got like 4 seasons, but it didn't quite make the cut, so they got rid of it.
It doesn't seem like it would hit the same.
Yeah, I didn't watch that one, and it's like I feel
you know what? That man, when they switch, like when they find something out and the scene ends, bro, and they switch to a new scene and that joint hits that boom boom.
Yeah,
that sound makes me want to throw up, bro.
That is a classic sound.
That joint makes me want to throw up. Oh yeah, watch the old OG
Hawaii 5-0.
That's classic. I don't have any problem with that. I'm not saying anything. Just finished Lovesick. I haven't checked that out. I'm with that.
Okay, Lovesick.
Wow.
How many seasons?
Yeah, how many seasons is it, BP?
I got to finish knocking out my last 4 episodes of Fear of the Walking Dead, and I got to start watching
Walking Dead. Like I fell off, like at least 2 seasons ago, and it's like
I'm here. I'm still here, and I'm still a big fan. And
I do want to catch up because I do want to be a part of the end of it. Regardless, good, bad, and different, however it is.
Well, the real end is supposed to be the Rick and Michonne show.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be the real
Big Bang Theory is a show for us, Alfonso, for sure.
It was supposed to be like 2 movies that was going to end stuff out, but they scratched the shows and they're going with the Rick and Michonne jump to kind of end it all.
That's cool.
So this was just in the Walking Dead show, but
so I'll hop back in.
Death in Paradise. All right.
I've never heard of that. You know
never heard of it either.
V, what up?
Hey, I'm not too familiar with the British like television shows.
Hey, I know if I start watching those, I'm gonna
those suspenseful like Korean dramas. I need more of those in my life now. Netflix done hit me with enough of them to get me fiending. I need more of those in my life.
Is jokes. Let me give you, I don't know, how many minutes? Minutes? What's
like
happening with CM Punk?
All right. So.
Oh, this is a story.
To reel it up.
It's not. It's okay.
Hey, look.
I'm gonna sum it up. I'm gonna sum it for you.
In the sky, bro.
Hold up. I'm gonna sum it. I'll make it. So this past weekend was AEW's paper.
Hold on. J. Robert Deans, when you say based around Subway, you mean around Subway, the store, like
the Metro Rail system,
the eatery, sir. Like
hey, you may have something if we got.
I need to know what you mean by that.
If they got a original $5 footlongs, I'll tune in.
CM Punk, bro, what's going on?
So this past weekend was AEW's pay-per-view All Out. Main event CM Punk, John Moxley, AEW Championship.
Okay.
Punk lost it to Moxley literally within a week. And then on the pay-per-view, CM Punk wins it back. So cool, whatnot ever. The real part is the after the show. So AEW does what they call their media scrum, which for people, if you watch NBA, NFL, you know, they always have their press conferences after their matches or whatnot ever.
Sure.
Same concept.
Okay.
And when I tell you CM Punk went, I'm sure you guys are familiar with the pipe bomb that he did back in WWE that made him like super, I don't want to say super famous, but kind of telling all the truths and everything that he thought of.
Not familiar,
all right.
but okay.
So this after post match, whatever you want to call it, like he was like laying it out there, like to the point where Tony Khan was sitting next to him. Tony Khan is the CEO of AEW, and I don't think Tony knew what the hell was going to come out of CM Punk's mouth at all. And you could see it on his face. And he started talking about Colt Cabana, who is someone he was friends with.
Hold on, the Copacabana.
Colt Cabana.
Hey, Sam.
I tell you, this is going to go back to the trash wrestler names.
Hey, at least it's
that's better than just having like
just your real name.
Just a base. That might, if that's his real name. All right, continue. Copacabana.
So yeah, that was part of it. But then he started talking about Hangman Adam Page, the Young Bucks.
What way?
The Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. So obviously,
when you say talking about them, like negatively.
Okay. And so you know the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega are executive vice presidents of AEW. Yeah, they shouldn't have answered the reporter question. I like how he tried to call them, like, even though they were reporters, he was saying like, your guys are not really reporters. Like it was a whole thing. But he pretty much insulted the three of them on camera in front of everybody.
Hey, listen.
Hey,
Cuddy. Cuddy, listen. I didn't know. I didn't know this joint couldn't get a summary. And
I feel like you have to tell parts of this in order for it to get to the.
I don't think he's saying that in a bad way. I don't think he's saying like you're not capable of. I think he's saying that the situation is so complicated that like you can't just summarize it.
I get it.
What I mean?
So
hey, listen, nothing wrong with having Barry Manilow stuck in your head, buddy. He's one of the greatest producers of all time. The two Barrys, Barry Manilow and Barry White, baby, them the two. They the ones. It's okay. Just sing along with it and it'll go away.
So pretty much trash talks them the whole entire time. Punk's done with his part, goes on, the next batch of people are getting ready to come up to do the interview. Before they get ready to do their interview, the camera, of course, is still rolling. And you just see a security dude bolt from out of nowhere to go backstage. Mm-hmm. At the time, everyone sees the dude. Don't think too much of it. Then we started learning after everything was done, CM Punk, the Bucks, Kenny Omega, Ace Austin, I believe his name is. That's like CM Punk's friend, producer, whatever. They got into it backstage. CM Punk apparently the Bucks and Kenny Omega, it started in 1924. They went to confront CM Punk.
Okay.
He was in his dressing room, wherever it was. Door was locked. They apparently busted the door down and went in there. Okay. Punk apparently threw the first punch, hit one of the Bucks. The brother, of course, came to defend his brother, and Ace, CM Punk's friend, apparently threw a chair and knocked out one of the Young Bucks. No, legitimately.
Listen, bro.
Hey,
you seen the Boondocks? You gotta throw a chair, bro.
But apparently knocked out one of the Young Bucks. Then started getting into a fight with Kenny Omega. That is a good one. And literally it just became a brawl between all of them. They have at this point now, they thought Kenny and the Bucks, they apparently were on the verge of saying, we're done with this because of the whole CM Punk thing. Apparently they're not leaving. I mean, they're executive vice presidents. I wouldn't imagine you guys would just
come on, bro.
Up and disappear. But at this point, CM Punk's friend, this producer backstage with AEW, apparently he's fired because he assaulted one of the executive vice presidents. So a real brawl. But apparently
that's about to ask for the people watching. This was a real.
No, this is real.
Okay.
So apparently he's either
Is
quit
it
or he's
though?
fired. Hey,
Is it though?
if it's not, cool, whatever. But apparently he's either fired or he quit. And Punk is pretty much has all the heat on him right now. But the issue now, and of course, this has just recently come out. Apparently, during this altercation, he said he likes MJF and some of the other towns. So he did specifically say, he likes some of them. Him and MJF kind of to me have like similar personalities, so I can see why the two of them would mesh pretty well together. But at the end of all this, Punk apparently has injured himself during the whole thing. Of course, he was out for a while, so they had to crown an interim AEW champion. They had their match. Moxley won. They just had another one. Punk, of course, got the belt back. And if he is truly hurt, it looks like he's going to be dropping that belt again. But I feel like it's going to be a lot more serious comparison to what it was beforehand.
Okay.
But yeah, all off camera. None of this was anything that anybody saw to the eye. All we can go off of course, is Maxwell Jacob Friedman. He does have a whole name.
Oh, you mean like Hunter Hearst Helmsley? We've seen it before.
Yeah.
All right.
And where was Freshly Squeezed when all this was happening? Freshly
Squeezed was probably just chilling wherever he was, probably just sipping on some freshly squeezed orange juice. But
hey dog, listen to me, bro. My favorite thing about wrestling is how fake it is. And this feels not fun. Oh yeah. J. Robert Deans.
Oh, freshly squeezed.
Listen, that's my guy. For you to know that Sin's favorite wrestler's name is Freshly Squeezed.
Freshly Squeezed Orange Cassidy.
Yeah.
That's my guy off of watching that joint with y'all.
We had Sin watching wrestling, and this dude absolutely was like, that is my guy.
I like it.
It was too cool. I'm sorry.
I mean, my man said he was in that joint like he watching One Piece. Like, oh, that's my guy.
Nah, it ain't that high. It ain't that high. It ain't One Piece high. Don't disrespect my captain like that.
Say Robert Deans, man. Hey, look, man, I don't Jokes, you know where my respect level is for wrestling, for pro wrestling. It's the only real sport left, so I don't, and I stand by that. What does this mean? What does that mean, BP? I don't know what that means.
Danhausen.
What does that mean?
It's another character.
Nah, I'm good.
Danhausen's pretty funny. Danhausen actually signed autographs at Third Eye 1 week when AEW was in town.
Oh yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Did you go?
Nope, because I couldn't get off of work.
Oh. Would it have been worth calling out?
For me, I would have called out just so I could have.
You didn't. So like it couldn't be that it would have been worth calling out.
But the problem was, if I'd have called out, folks would have known exactly where I was at that point because that joint was literally right down the street.
Fact. So you just shoot over there on your break or whatever, and that's supposed to be. Yeah, man, I can't. Wrestling has enough drama without actual drama, and I know that there's always been actual drama behind the scenes. Some of that stuff is actually fascinating. It is. Who's 8'9"?
Jeez.
Who's 8'9"?
That's his entrance. He's 8'9". He's 360 pounds.
What do you mean that's his entrance?
Yeah.
So when he comes out, just like they would say with anybody, the weight, the height, all his stuff's over exaggerated. Like he's probably like 5'10", $150, maybe.
Could Kurt Angle whoop him?
Absolutely.
then we don't need to talk about Slim no more.
Absolutely.
It's over, bro. It's over. All right, listen. Google him to see what he looks like. I'll do no such thing, sir. That sounds like a threat. I'm not doing that.
I just get the picture and put it. Actually, you know what? I don't even think I could do that.
Nah,
Right.
yeah, you can't. He's over 900 years old. Fonzo said, I remember when I loved wrestling, like jokes, love the passion. Hey, listen, I'm not mad at the passion. Let me tell you something. My grandfather put me on to wrestling. My grandfather would just sit in his chair and watch wrestling. I don't even think he ever reacted to anything. He was super chill super laid back. Like the coolest cool that ever cooled anything off. Super chill. He would watch wrestling. That's where I fell in love with like Ric Flair, Rock and Roll Express. Like all them old school joints, like that's where that comes from. Like I have a lot of love and respect for wrestling. For wrestling too. Hey, Jokes, did you get the joint I sent you today on Instagram?
Nope.
All right.
I never even looked at that.
Check your IG. Yeah, I can't do it anymore, man. I'm not. Again, I totally respect it because I don't trust any other sport. Except for boxing and UFC, and even those are like, it's the behind the scenes stuff that technically decides who fights who or whatever. Especially in boxing,
I get you.
It's not as bad.
I get you.
Oh
yeah, I didn't tell you. Your boy just got another promotion.
Here we go.
Triple H.
Oh, I saw something about that today. Something about CEO of content or something.
My man is.
There's right there, BP. Why aren't you on Joe's wrestling show?
Because we gotta get the time.
Need invites. I need the invites. And I know Cuddy getting ready to say something, so I'm just
he is.
In the chat, I know Cuddy gonna say something.
Yeah, but your boy been promoted to chief content officer. So I mean, my man has control of all of the content that's happening, and I can see where we can all see where he's making changes at. Everyone that got the budget cut release, they didn't all come back. At this point, I've
been seeing a lot out there. People are happy with the changes that he's making, the stuff he's doing. So
at this point, there's only one person I feel like that's left that he's going to probably try to bring back before almost everybody from the budget cut wave got the axe.
Good.
Okay. All right. Okay. Hey, I saw a thing the other day that said that somebody had a theory that Reed Richards survived what happened to him in Multiverse of Madness.
The rubber band man? Nah.
I'm sorry, my man's head exploded.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they getting their first names back too.
What's that mean? What's that mean?
So for whatever reason, Vince didn't like nobody's name, like anybody that had the first and last name.
Here's the thing. Here's the problem, right?
I want a quick summary and down the rabbit hole.
As soon as Joe said, so I was like, oh God.
No, that's it. Vince, for whatever reason, just didn't like folks with first and last names. And everyone that had like Bobby Lashley, it was just Lashley for a while. Austin Theory. He just started taking everyone's first names away. It was weird. Tommaso Ciampa. Triple H is giving like everybody their names back. Like, I never understood that. Yeah, it was a thing. Everybody was losing names left and right.
What happened with Up, Up, Down, Down? Because it seems like the ownership of that seems like something shifted.
So one point, from my understanding, Xavier pretty much gave the rights to that to WWE so he could have it on WWE's programming and all that. But he was just he still had like creative control and doing certain things, but WWE inevitably owned it. The issue was almost everybody that was on the show with him left the company, where it ended up only being like him and Kofi Kingston. So I know they had to figure out how to work.
They ain't
new
changed my
people.
man name to Kingston.
No, he's always. It was a point. It was a point that he was going by Kofi, and they didn't use Kingston, and then Kingston came back. I do remember that vaguely, but yeah, Big E, actually Big E, but his works.
Hey, son, do not lie to me, okay? Let me. Do not lie to me.
No lies here.
When you was growing up,
mm-hmm.
What was your wrestling name? Oh, because I know you had one.
Not saying I didn't.
Joke?
I can't think of what it was.
Wrestling name?
I could.
If
you say New Joker, I'm
never was. No.
Coming to the screen, Slim.
I will tell you this. I always, like, when I would create a superstar, it would be like whatever was in the system, so I could actually hear it said. Because before, like, if you only put like your name,
yeah, you wanted them to actually call your name out when you played the games or whatever.
Yeah, like the Crusher or I don't know, some stupid whatever they had in there.
I'm pretty sure I had a name, but I can't remember.
This is what I like right here. Come on, spill it. Tatiana wants to know what's up with them wrestling names.
Nah, but I never like. I'm sure I had one that I called myself as a kid, but
I'd have to ask Floyd. We had a tag team, and I can't remember what my name was at the time. I just remember what our finisher was. I do remember what our little finisher was, but I don't
run it down.
It was.
Don't laugh. Run it down.
He would grab somebody by the legs and catapult them, and while they're coming up, I would super kick him in the face.
What's it called?
Oh, I don't remember what we called it. Like I said, it was so long, I don't remember what we called it. I remember what it was.
I swear he said he knew what it was.
No, I said I don't remember what it was. I just remember like what our move was. I remember what it was. I remember the name of it.
Yeah, hey, Cuddy, I feel like I've seen recently, like I'm talking like within the last like 2.5 to 3 weeks, I've seen Xavier doing more stuff on Up, Up, Down, Down, which I just kind of felt was like, this is what I saw. I started to see way more wrestlers showing up on G4. They started doing stuff specifically with a bunch of wrestlers, but then I started seeing again, like within the last couple of weeks, I started seeing stuff on Up, Up, Down, Down. It was kind of like, all right, something maybe shifted here.
Triple H he turned the Twitch thing because he told folks they couldn't.
What's it called? The face what?
The face step.
No, that would not be what it was called.
The capital.
But nah, Triple H gave the rights for folks to stream on Twitch and stuff again. So maybe I'm guessing he gave him a little bit more freedom to go back to what he was doing.
I mean, look, dog, from a business standpoint, it makes so much more sense to allow people that kind of freedom. Because the reality of it is, the bigger the audience you can build outside of wrestling, the bigger the audience you build within wrestling. Those people come over. So there's no way that's not free promotion for WWE, and they need it because there's actual competition right now. Like, there's real competition. So I could kind of see them. Listen, for lack of a better way of doing it in the context of stuff we always talk about, I could see WWE pulling a Sony. We have the market share. We can do what we want. We're shutting all this down, and we want absolute control of A, B, and C. Then they do that, and something pops up in its place that is a true rival, which hasn't happened in almost 2 decades. And now you're losing all of these viewers. You're losing all these people. And your owner's an asshole. Plain and simple. Who's an idiot. And so you're losing more people. Right? And so, how do you gain that back? I mean, social media, be it a platform like Twitch, whether it's YouTube, whether it's TikTok, like all of those things, they are the advertising platforms of choice, period. That's just what it is. It makes the most sense. It's where you can get the most content to the most people. If anything, WWE, certainly, I'm positive they are, but they should be advertising through those platforms. And so if you have people that are on contract with you in some manner, and they're using that third-party thing, and you happen to wrestle, but you also happen to play video games, then that audience of gamers who happens to watch this person play goes, oh snap, for real? Oh, okay, let me, you know what I mean? And I really like so and so because I like them in real life, even though I don't know them. I like them in real life. Let me come check them out. Maybe I buy a ticket to a show. Maybe, you know what I mean, or whatever. When you're doing an event and those wrestlers are showing up at an event, are there people who are more likely to buy tickets to go to an event where they can get signings because they know them from another platform? Is there more money in it to be made by WWE if they allow that kind of a thing? Absolutely.
Because I'll tell you, AEW does the gaming thing, but a lot of the wrestlers have the freedom to. It's called Devastator, rock bottom into a backbreaker. Ow.
Okay.
AEW lets their wrestlers have
Give me just a second. Hey, BP, I know you have footage. Get me the footage.
No matter who got hurt or whatnot,
I don't care who got hurt. Wait, not your kids. Don't do that to your. Did you do that to your kids? Like, don't do that. Yeah,
probably on a bed or something.
There it is, right there, Joseph.
Check he may be sensitive. But AEW did it where they have their own game thing that they do, but the wrestlers can still stream to their platforms. But they had a bunch of them at Gamescom a few weeks ago. But not only did they have them there, AEW put on a whole wrestling show at Gamescom, promoting the game.
They also did announce a game for the Switch at Gamescom. I mean, it's a thing. Are you going to buy it?
Oh, yes. 100%.
Is it going to be good?
I think it's going to be okay. I really do.
Why is it only on Switch?
No, it's on all platforms. Xbox, Switch, PlayStation. It's on all.
I only saw Switch advertised, so maybe
they did that on purpose because there's no WWE game on Switch. Well, actually, you know what? They may have done like 2K.
Nah, isn't that WWE 2K Slam thing?
Oh, that joint.
The playground joint. The
playground joint. Yeah, I think that one is. But no, it's on all platforms. So Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, PC. It's everywhere. Here's
the funny thing about this response, BP. You expect me to believe you haven't done this in the last 10 years. I know you have executed this move in the last 10 years.
There was that one time he was like,
if you haven't, rectify it, get the footage, and send me the footage. That's all. That's all I'm saying. That's all. Joke's finisher. It's called The Sleeper. It starts with him saying, well, and then telling a 2-hour story that had lost his opponent.
Oh, well, I win the match. So it does what it needs to do.
There you go. Well, spoiler boys. My man BP said, bought it. All right. Supposed to look like N64. Hey, listen, I don't care if it looks like the N64 joint. I care if it plays like that or plays like Def Jam.
BP, I had to wait.
The best wrestling game ever released.
Yeah, I'm waiting because I'm waiting for like a collector's game.
As it is.
I'm waiting for a collector's version. I'm sure they're gonna have something before I pull that trigger. I'm trying to make sure. So
BP, are you telling me that at Baltimore Comic-Con somebody is going to feel the wrath? Or is that what you're telling me? Because
it sounds like that's what he's saying.
It sounds like their name is Jokes.
Ooh.
Sounds like Jokes about to feel the devastation, bro.
Hey, I feel like y'all need to start cutting promos
right now.
Yeah,
I did cut a promo. We saw where that led the last time.
It did. Chair
shot, body slam, leg drop.
Oh yeah, backhand joint.
Knife edge chop. I got a little bit of everything.
Yeah, that's some good footage. Yeah, hey, these hands are rated E for everyone, boy. Everybody can get it. Hey, look, we got a lot coming up. There's a lot happening in the next. I mean, not next month is like jam packed with stuff. Multiple conventions, StellarCon, Baltimore, followed by Extra Life. Extra Life we're doing differently this year. I'm pretty sure we said this, but let me say it again. Rather than attempt to do a full 24 hours, because Jokes can't hang.
No, don't put up your finger and pop. No.
Let him
I'm done.
Okay, thanks. I'm not positive about LotCon, but I'm gonna try to make it. I think we can. I don't think it's an issue.
I'm sure we could.
But there's so much happening. I just have to look at it again. But absolutely, if we can be there, we'll have every intention of being at the fall LotCon.
Yeah.
Even if I just pop in for a minute or something like that, but hopefully we'll be able to be there in full force. Yeah, so much going on. Extra Life this year, we are still doing 24 hours, but we are splitting it into 3 8-hour shifts, basically. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday, we are playing our first D&D.
Oh yeah.
That's gonna be real interesting. It's only supposed to be like 4 hours, but I'm scared.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
It might end up being longer depending on what happens and how we play.
Yeah, we get down. You know what I mean? And I if people like Sin or jokes who have played like board games with me and know the way my mind works, I don't know if there's a dungeon master that's ready. Tell them.
And I plan on being stupid just for comedic purposes. So just know that's coming.
Oh, good. This is all going to be recorded. So please, more content, the better.
If you make us lose, bro, I'm gonna be hot.
Oh no, I'm trying to win, but don't think some left field choices ain't coming out of nowhere.
Hey, yeah, listen, we'll have to figure out some things we can do to make it all like kind of work out. It's all good, ain't it? You know what I mean? Like you still beat Ty. Like Ty's not here, so you're all right.
You're good.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out some ways that we can get people to donate and stuff like that based on choices we make and things like that. But yeah, so that first day, definitely doing some straight up D&Ding. Just Savage. What up, K?
Yo.
So yeah, so we'll be doing that. And then the second 2 days will, be a little bit more of what you're used to seeing us do as far as like just kind of gaming and hanging and stuff like that. But we just figured doing it a little more midday would allow more people to tune in. Hopefully we can get more people to participate and join the team and play along with us and so forth, so we can raise as much money as possible for such a good cause. So Extra Life, y'all. It's the first weekend in November.
Yes.
And then we have Ocean City Comic-Con in December. So like the train is moving. It is moving and shaking. Meanwhile, currently, Spoiler Boys. It's been cranking right now. We're on She-Hulk, episode 3. Our Spoiler Boys for episode 3 of She-Hulk is live now. So Spotify, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, all over the place. By all means, please check it out. We get very deep into what's going on in the show. Quite insightful. We do some guessing about what's going to be coming next. And Megan's mutant knees. That's it. The Megan mutant knees. Oh man, gotta leave a like for my boys after a long shift. Appreciate you, Jay.
Appreciate it, man.
We get into what's going on and like where we think it's going and what's happening and so forth. So I highly recommend you check out Spoiler Boys. You definitely could go back into the archives and hear what we thought about some of the other shows. All the Disney Plus shows we have Spoiler Boys episodes for. There's also all the Star Wars shows that are there. Multiverse of Madness is there. And Andor is coming up. So we'll be covering that on Spoiler Boys as well. So keep your eyes peeled. Anime Vault is still currently rolling. Sin, what's happening next on Anime Vault?
We're revisiting another one from Masamune Shiro, which is Black Magic M66, robots out for blood type of stuff. So that'll be dropping same time Thursday at 1:00. And also on the anime front, we just started this week our bi-weekly thing in the chat group. Shout out to Gabby's Grimoire, talking about mangas that don't have anime adaptations, You go, you check them out, rate them, and there'll be some trivia and some of that type of stuff later in the week to go along with it. So for my manga readers or people looking to get into it, go ahead and jump in there and check that out.
Dig it. And if you say manga instead of manga, that's okay too.
Facts.
See, we love everyone. Isn't that right, Jokes?
Yes, sir.
Didn't it sound like he was lying? Like didn't it seem like he was lying? Like
he didn't want to say it.
Oh man, y'all saw the Crunchyroll?
Yeah, I was gonna send it. I got the email for it. I was like, oh, Zaina's gonna love this.
I saw that Luffy when you tagged me in. That's all that mattered.
Did you see the post afterwards where you'll be able to actually get it? Because I thought it was going to be exclusive to New York Comic Con. It's just a shared exclusive. Hot topic. It will be online and in store. So
all right. So second it drops, I'm just ordering it and having it shipped. I'm not even wasting my time. And I still might go up to the mall and try to buy it.
You know what? Them BTS Funko Pops I ordered should be shipping soon.
Is that the whole set? I guess that whole
set. Oof. It's a whole set, bro.
They put that thing in the.
I almost forgot. See, I started talking about it. I know what. I know Target better have a Wong Target uniform.
Yeah. No, if they don't have Wong in the Target uniform, they are missing out. That joint should be an exclusive for like NYCC.
It should be, but don't do that. It needs to be. It has to be a Target exclusive.
Yes. No. It will be Target. It's released specifically for NYCC at Target.
Look, on a date. Hey, we're gonna be out of town, man. We ain't gonna be here when them joints ship. We're going out of town. We be at Ocean City Comic Con. We're gonna miss them. I think that's everything, gentlemen. Does that sound right?
Sounds right.
Think so.
So this weekend, D23 is happening this weekend. So there will be all kinds of information that'll be popping out. We'll be expect us to be talking about that next week. Also this Saturday, Ubisoft is doing their Ubisoft Forward in the morning. So here's the thing. Because they already leaked the new game. Assassin's Creed Mirage. Then they confirmed it. We know that it's happening. But I'm almost positive that Ubisoft is also supposed to be working on a Disney title. Like they have might be a Marvel thing or something like that. Because it's super weird that they're doing a Ubisoft Forward on a Saturday morning. Like they normally all that stuff normally happens like midweek. And the fact that they're doing it on the same day as D23.
Oh, perfect.
They're getting things out first.
That there's something that they're announcing that's going to have to do with that, and there might be more information coming after that.
Whatever that project is, they're getting it out first, and more will be showed during D23. So.
Hey, listen, my man must have just went and checked that thing out, bro.
There's a Levi. Yep. That's on sitting
straight up. Disney Plus Day is Thursday. It's Thursday. Yeah, supposedly some new Star Wars trailers dropping. I think there's going to be a trailer for the new. Shoot, what's the name of the anime Disney joint they did?
What, Visions?
Yeah,
yes,
Visions.
There's a Visions. There's a second thing of Visions. I think that's supposed to be there.
Good for that.
Hey, isn't Ubisoft doing a Star Wars game?
They are.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Could that? I'm just wondering if that's the one they.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think that's what they're gonna end up showing. I think that's part of why
it's doing this time.
That day. Yeah. Because they probably weren't allowed to say anything about it before then or show anything before then, and it'll probably be something where like they show a part of it. Like maybe they'll show the trailer and maybe they're gonna show gameplay during actually,
D23 and stuff. Yeah, go into a lot more detail.
Yeah. So
we'll get the theatrical.
My expectation is that Saturday we're gonna have a lot going on, and therefore on Tuesday we're gonna have a lot to talk about. Therefore, I would highly recommend that if you're tuned in now, you'll be tuned in next Tuesday. I don't think it's gonna be one you want to miss. Not that it ever is, but like I think it's gonna be some things popping next week. So, Jokes, you got a job to do, but you can't do it, can you?
I can't do it. No.
I can't do it. I'm talking about wrestling all night, man.
Melon don't like me.
Jokes, October. We going to the theater?
Yes, we are, sir. We are going to the theater in October.
Hey, man, I'm trying to get people to think. Can y'all stop talking while I'm talking about the
No! It's important business.
Day in the morning. Hold on. Let me be. So there's the Beacons link. You can click on the Beacons link or whatnot ever, and then you find the going on the shirt, y'all. Yeah, hit the Beacons link. Follow us across the board, including our wrestling chat or whatnot ever. Which is probably what we should have called the wrestling chat. Wrestling or whatnot ever.
Not ever.
That's the name of your finishing move.
The whatnot ever?
The whatnot ever. They don't know what's coming. They don't know what it's about to be. Sin, you got a job to do.
Yes, so let's shout out our top tier patrons, starting with Anthony Cunningham, Marcus Houston, Susan Dortch, Tyrone Carson, Meticulous Skin, and Jonathan Sosa. Thank you very much. We truly, truly appreciate it.
We surely do. Hey, Jokes, did you post in Patreon the discussion that we have for the Patreon questions of the month? So for those of you who are patrons, please make sure you go and check that out. We did take your suggestions. We did answer 2 questions that came from 2 of the folks that are not only in the chat today, but also our members of our Patreon. So please check that out. And we're in a new month, so it's time for some more suggestions. So please hit us up. Let us know what you want to hear us talk about. I think we had some pretty solid discussions. They were some really good questions.
Definitely.
And I think we had some pretty solid discussions. So by all means, please check that out. Having said those things, I think it's time to wrap up the show. Is that good with you, Sin?
Let's do it.
Look, right there. See? 1, Mama Dor said, have a great night.
Oh, thank you.
Zaina said, really good video, actually. She said actually like they're not all good videos. But I'm just saying, like, I appreciate that. So J. Robert Deans, good night. Jokes, you want to give it a try?
Yeah. Close it out.
All right. Shut it down.
So just remember, y'all, just because you got a well thought out plan doesn't make it a good idea.
So close.
It's
almost there. It was like
I just stumbled. It was there. I tried to spit it out, and it just got nah.
You did. All right. We appreciate y'all hanging out with us this evening. We're out. Toodles and loos. Bye, Candace.